Gratitude and hope are both two amazing things. There are two things that I think are kind of universal that we wonder, do we really do? I've been studying in Romans, and in there, I know the teachings of Paul. He's kind of hard to read, but in there, he's like, he asked this question. He says, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? And you think about that. Like, what shall, and then he gives a list of things. Like, he's like, will tribulations, will distress, will persecution, famine, nakedness, sword. And you think about it, if in our day, would a loss of a job, will, a loss of your fortune, a loss of a family member, sickness, trials, war, ongoing war, will those things separate you from the love of Christ? And I was thinking about that, like, what makes it so you lose your faith? And he also talked about hope. And so, like, how do you have hope when those happen? And he's talking to saints, and a lot of those things, he was talking to the Romans, these are letters to the Romans, a lot of those things have to do with today. What separates us, or what keeps us, from the love of Christ and for the love of God. And then he goes on to talk about love and how much he loves, and how much, God loves us, and how much Christ loves us. And so you just, if what separates us from Christ's love? I mean, Christ's love never changes. It's always there. It's we separate ourselves. I've had, this weekend, two people I know, their children are sick. And it kind of was an eye-opener to me how grateful I need to be about my kids' health, about the health of our family. And I went and visited my one friend. Her son's in the hospital, and she's been staying there since he's been there. She's been there since Friday night, just sleeping on the couch next to him, and she can't leave him. I mean, even though he's 14 or maybe 15, she can't leave him, and she won't leave him. And of course, right? Like, of course, that's what moms do. And luckily she can do that. And I was just, look at what, it just kind of made me so grateful. So grateful for my children's health. So grateful for our family's health. And I've been and studying, the words of Paul, what separates you from Christ? Both of these families could get very angry. Why is this happening to us? And why, and you go back to, what Elder Scott said, why ask why? That only puts you against God. But what am I to learn from this? To lean on God, that we're all going to have those times when, the trial of our faith, even when things go bad and maybe miracles don't happen, that you still believe, that you endured to the end, that you have hope. And that's what they talk about. Hope is understanding hope, that this is a second act of a 3-act play. Understanding that hope, it's just, trusting in the Lord and having hope is so great. And I know it's hard to do, and I know sometimes it's hard, but maybe by counting our blessings, we can have hope, and we can understand. And, Paul also talked about looking to the scriptures, how they bring us comfort. And I know that's true. And I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for the Apostle Paul and these letters, and that these letters were saved. That these are universal truths for the time that he wrote it to the Romans, as much for us today. And so look to the scriptures, and to have hope, and to know how much God loves you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and just hug and kiss your children.